So this is the one I'm talking about, the project one. Again, it's not from the textbook. There's something we want to pick up because there's hundreds of different Excel functions, we can learn, but textbook has only so many. So for example, we're going to learn a sum product. That's one of the function, a rank function. And of course, we're going to do VLOOKUP somewhere here. Yeah, there you go, VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP is appear in the textbook, but so that's how this project is consist of, trying to pick it up some of those new functions. And the data you need to download for this project is this. This is the student grades, and there. So we have like 60 some students by ID, last name, first name, and then homework all the way to final exam. With that, we're going to find the average and rank. We're going to determine the rank based on the average. Okay, but here one thing different is not just simple average. We're trying to use a weighted average, meaning that we're going to give us some weights for assignment, homework, quiz 1, quiz 2, and all the way. Okay, it's just like your typical classes, but not this class. This class don't have any weights. So whatever you earn, the point will go to your final grades. So it's pretty simple, but other courses, of course, they have a different weights for the assignment, quizzes, final exam, project. So you need to calculate weighted average or weighted, total. So that's kind of simulating that. Here we go. So based on the direction, we're going to give a weight to homework. Almost at 20%, I think. Let's see. 20%, yeah. 20%, quiz 15. Then the final will give it 35%. So that's 100%, right? Yeah. All right. Then the next step, based on the direction, we're going to find the just simple average for homework and quizzes, 3 quizzes, and the final. Next, low cost using mean actually. The median score, we're going to use the median function. Then high score, we're going to use the max function. Okay, so that's what the functions that you're going to need. So just simple average function for the class average here. Then we're going to do the homework. So there's K3 through all the way to 68, right? So there you go. Then we're going to just autofill across. Okay. The next one is just finding lowest score. So we're going to use the min. So that's same thing. That's K3 through K68. Okay, then autofill. Then we're going to use the median function to find the median score for each item. So again, K3 to K68. And autofill. Right? Right here, high score, we're going to use the max function. K3 to again, K68. Right? Then autofill across. There you go. That's the formula view. All right. Next step, we're going to go to column P. Using this weights given, we're going to find weighted average. Okay. So what it's saying is, what it means is, this is what actually means. So I'm going to just write out what exactly weighted average you will do rather than using sum product. So weight of homework times, then homework itself, plus weight of quiz 1 times quiz 1, weight of quiz 2 times quiz 3. We keep adding it. Quiz 3 weights times quiz 3 self, then final exam. So that's what actually this weighted average will do, okay? So B8 through F8 as the weights is given right here, okay? All right, so rather than doing this way, we're going to use the sum product. So that's the idea of using sum product equals sum product. And the syntax is select all the weights across, okay, comma, then the item score for that weight. That's it. But make sure it is separate by comma. And then switch back to normal view. As you can see, the same value, 95, right? Since we learn about absolute self-reference in module chapter 3, chapter 4, then we need to make sure that it is absolute self-reference. Otherwise, this B8, F8 becomes B9, F9 as you copy to the next cell like this. So to prevent that, we insert $sign, right? So that's the idea of using absolute self-reference. So now we can autofill all the way down. And there you go. And normal view. So that's our weighted average for each student. Right? If you have any questions, let me know. Then rank, column Q. So we're going to rank this student average. So the high score will get rank number 1. The lowest score will get the last rank. Okay. So that's what you call descending, I believe. Yeah, descending order. I was a little bit confused. Either it is descending or ascending. So that would be descending, which is default in rank function. So equals rank. And the score that we're going to use against all other values in the column. So that's why you need to select. So that it'll give you the rank for the first score, which is 95. In fact, we got rank number 3, right? So here we go, formula view again. Then because we're going to autofill, we need to insert the $sign to P3 to be P68. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen, right? It's gonna go up like P4, P69, P5, P70. That's not what you wanted, right? Because P69 is more like here, P70. And so it's a blank, so it doesn't make sense. So that's why we need to make sure it is fixed by adding $sign to P3, P28. Then we can autofill all the way down. Just like that. Okay, so that's the top to bottom. What about bottom to top? If you want to rank, the lowest score get number 1, high score will get the, whatever the last number. Then here's what you need to do. Go back to your rank function. At the end of this syntax, you're going to insert number 1 so that what it's saying is ascending order, right? So the number will go up rather than go down to rank the number. Then you can autofill this, again, syntax all the way down if you want to do it ascending order. Okay. All right. So that's what we got so far, column Q. Then we're going to move to column B. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to insert a VLOOKUP function onto B16 through B24 by looking up one of student ID. Here's ID, a bunch of IDs. So we're going to just pick up random ID like here. Then we're going to use it as a lookup value. Okay, so we're going to use this student ID to retrieve, this name across. Rather than doing manually, we're going to use a VLOOKUP. Okay, so here we go. We're going to insert the VLOOKUP to retrieve first name. Again, the value we're going to use, student ID, this one. Come on. Then what's the range of this lookup function? What we call lookup table, this entire area, just like that. Then third column, third variable will be column number that you're trying to retrieve. Again, that's the first name. So first name is located here, J. So J is 1, 2, 3, third position from the left, right? So this is the starting column. Then you're going to count. So this itself is 1, I is 2, J is 3. So that's why we're going to enter 3 there, column number. Then followed by false based on the syntax of VLOOKUP. Why is it false? Well, just like programming language, just, if you've taken any programming language, you probably remember some functions or some logical functions, they do true or false. But in here, you're going to enter false when the matching value that you're trying to retrieve is only 1. Only 1. If there's more than 1, you're going to enter true. Since this one, as you can see, all student ID has only 1 matching record each column. For example, the first one, student ID has last name, only 1 last name, only 1 first name, only 1 homework. So that's why you got false. But other times you may have multiple values for student ID. You could have a 2 last name, which is not, logically not possible, but it can happen. So then you can add a true. I think I can come up with different example, not with this one, in different problem. But in this example, you need to enter false at the end. Here we go, you return first name of the student ID, which is this one right there, Dexter, that's the first name, right? Then we're going to return last name, which is with the column number is 2, right? It's located in second position from the left. So that's the only difference. So I'm going to just copy rather than just type it in. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make it absolute cell reference to these places so that I can just make a copy, autofill actually. Then the only thing you're going to do is just change the column number, right? 2. Next, I think should be column 4 because his homework is located right here, number 4 position from column H. Okay. Then this should be column 5, column 6, column 7, column 8, column 9, and last one should be column 10. Okay, then just check the actual answer. It should be right. They should be right. Okay, here we go again. VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP function is one of the most popular function in Excel. As a matter of fact, in this book, I think we're going to see more and more. I think at least 3 more chapters full. They'll bring up VLOOKUP and similar lookup functions. Right? So that's what this project is about. And again, that's the directions. Oh, and one more thing. 16. So 16, what step 16 is asking is use another tool in Excel, which is goal seek. Okay, so I'm going to go back. Here's the scenario. Okay, if you look at this student is missing one of this exam, which is final exam, and turns out the average is very low. However, it's lucky that he can make it up, right? So he want to get an A in this class. To make A in this class, you need to have a 92 class average. Okay, so to make a 92, for an A, so what's the minimum score you need to get in final exam? Okay, so that's what step 16 is asking. So the step is asking you use goal seek. Goal seek is on the data tab. So go to data tab. If you look up here, toolbar, what if analysis, and you have a goal seek right there. Matter of fact, on what if analysis, you have 3 different things you can use, but we're going to use goal seek at this time. So this will help you situation like this, right? You know the outcome, but what kind of input, what kind of variable you need to adjust to get the particular or desired output. Okay, so set goal is P21, which is the class average, right? So goal is get to 92. Okay, so there you go. So again, set goal is P21, value 92, which will give you A in this class. Then changing cell, that's the final exam. So that you'll find out the score you need to get at least the score average, right? So that will be, what is it? Oh, I'm going to just click this, 021. You can type it in, but you can always click the cell and see what we're going to get. So I'm going to click OK. Okay, it turns out 98.85. So that's the score you must get to receive A in this class, because class average is 92. All right, so if you get this straight, then you're going to make a screenshot of this. So I know you use this goal seek. So make a screenshot of this particular sheets with this goal seek, then attach to your worksheets. Okay. All right. So any questions so far?
No questions that I can think of.
Okay. So you're good?
I think so. I'm
All
sure
right.
as I go, I'll have to, I don't know, figure more stuff out.
I'm going to post a video so you can take a look if you need it. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
So if you don't have any questions, I guess I'll see you next time. Okay.